So I know I showed in my AOG kit the pouch that I carry my 1/4 inch ratchets in, and just wanted to go a little bit more in depth if you're somebody who is looking for what to buy for a 1/4 inch ratchet. Personally, these are the only ratchets I run. These kind that have the swivel head on them. I hate flex heads. I find them completely impossible to use without two hands all the time. But swivels, in 1/4 inch in particular, I find to be incredibly useful because however you put the force on the handle, the way the fork design is like this, it's always putting the force directly on the center of the head, which is on the shaft, which is on the socket where you want to hold it, so you can use it one-handed at any kind of angle you can imagine. And they always have the advantage of being able to use them like a screwdriver once you're running at low friction, but you need maybe to screw it all the way off or something like that. So here's the first one I bought. Actually, this isn't the first one. This has been warranted at least once, if not twice. I wore at least one of these out for snap-on, and what happens is they get loose right there in the shaft. That's about normal. Let's see if this one even has any. That one has essentially none, and that has less than this. This is the Pittsburgh one. I have actually been torture testing Pittsburgh ones, and from what I have discovered reading online, apparently all of these mechanisms, this part, not the handle, but these mechanisms, the ratchet part, are made by the same guy in, I think, Taiwan. And the whole reason why is he has the royalty or the patent or whatever it is, and everybody else buys them from him. His company, whatever it would be. One company has it, maybe, I don't know, one person. I don't know that particular of it, but I do know that apparently all of them are the same. This I think I picked up at a Napa or an AutoZone or something. It's a Titan. You can also get them off of Amazon. This is the snap-on version with this style handle. I know they've gone to the rubber ones. I may even have had one with a plastic handle or a solid metal handle. I can't remember. And then the Pittsburgh is like this. I have a Tecton at work that is this thing except with red instead of green right there. And otherwise, you could not tell one from the other, especially if you were blindfolded or you rubbed this off and you were colorblind. They function awesome. I have not been able to kill a Pittsburgh yet, other than over-torquing it. And their warranty is wicked easy. They sell this also under their Icon brand with red in the handle. I can't see the difference. I wouldn't spend the other $10 or whatever more it is for that, and probably 50% more for this right here. This one has actually become my go-to because of how short the handle is. Usually 1/4 inch, you don't have a real high torque, but sometimes you have clearance issues, and I really like the way that this fits right there in my palm. For sockets, these are snap-on. This I think might be, oh no, these are Craftsman, aren't they? Yes, they're Craftsman. I got them from old Craftsman when it was Sears, not when it was Lowe's. But 12-point, 1/4 inch, standard. You will need this more than anything else as an aircraft mechanic, and you will need the 12-point no matter what. And then these are snap-on. These are 1/4 inch swivels. They will eventually wear out, but you can't imagine the places you need to get into that a swivel is the only thing that's going to get you there. So definitely a set of them. If you're buying, I think it's Sunex, and there's some other brands you can buy off of Amazon if you want to be a little cheaper. But they will probably, yeah, and that's what happens when they get old and worn out. You wrap tape around them to keep them straight. I think I have a set at work, and I think I had to buy the 11/32 separate, and then the very, very tiny, what is this? That's 3/16, and that's chrome vanadium, so you know that's high quality from who knows where. I didn't get that from Snap-on. I don't know if they make it in Snap-on, but you know what? Every now and then you need at 3/16, really tiny. And then you'll need some different length extensions. Locking extensions are always a good idea. I actually have them at work. I need to swap them into this bag instead. This is like a no-name. This is, I don't know, Matco. Oh, what do you know? I have some Matco in my stuff. This is a Craftsman. Oh no, it's a Cobalt. I don't usually buy Cobalt. I'll tell you why. Their warranty process tends to be very hit or miss. It really depends on who you get that day and how nice they want to be. I've had a number of times I've gone into warranty at Cobalt, and they, let's say it was actually a ratchet like this that I had the biggest problem with. It had a rubber handle, and now they've gone to an all metal handle. And they refused to do it because they said the part number is different. We will not warranty it, even though it's the same ratchet other than the handle. They refused to do it. And I had one other tool they also gave me a hard time about. I've had other times they've thrown a whole set at me when I walked in with like one extension. But it is so intermittent and unsettled that I will not just go ahead and buy more Cobalt. I would buy Craftsman if it didn't come from Lowe's, but since it comes from Lowe's, I do not buy Craftsman anymore. I will buy anything at Home Depot. I've never had a problem warrantying a Husky, and I've never had a problem at a Harbor Freight. And in my area, there's more Home Depots than there are Harbor Freights. So, you know, you pick it as you choose with that. I know Icon makes some good sockets. I haven't tested them yet. But if you are going to be using them in aircraft, make sure it's a set that comes with 11/32. That tends to be an odd size that you won't always find in everything. I bought the Craftsman because it did come with an 11/32, which is probably like that one. But, and then sometimes getting all the way down to the 3/16, like, those last couple there are not 12 point, they're 6 point. That's a hard one to find in that size. So there's just some things to look at. These will probably be your most used tool as an aircraft mechanic, second or tied with your ratcheting screwdriver. Believe it or not, that's where you're going to be. I get over 30 years, tried everything from airlines to pistons to avionics to structures. Structures is about the only place, and even then you'll still need some of this to take stuff apart, put it together, sometimes stick a screw and a nut into place to pin things together so you can get rivets in, whatever it would be. But yeah, your 1/4 inch ratchet, make sure it's a good one, and I can't recommend anything better, actually, believe it or not, than this. I like that, but this is what I would buy first, then buy that when you have it. I wouldn't really say make the jump to Snap-on unless you really just love Snap-on. You know, when I went through my socket stash that I carry in my AOG tool case, I kind of glossed over what exactly I had for sockets, but this right here is one you're going to find very useful in a few areas. It is a 5/32, and it is deep well. Just to give you an idea, I'll put it up against like a Snap-on #1 Phillips screwdriver handle to give you the idea. Or there's a better one, because that's actually a ruler on my Leatherman, but the overall length of that works out to about 2.5 inches. There's the #2, and then you can see where it ground almost the last 1/4 inch of it, and it comes up shy of 3 inches right there. At some point, somebody thought it was a great idea to use a whole bunch of these little matchbox relays. Beechcraft uses them, de Havilland uses them. They were like wicked popular in the 60s and into the 70s and possibly the 50s as well. And that's a little 5/32 nut, and it is way down there against the side of that matchbox relay. And you need to be able to get on those and remove them, and then you're gonna have to use probably a magnet, because they're supposed to have a washer, but all these are missing washers. and it's a little lock nut, and you'll have to use a magnet and probably forceps to get it back on. And you don't want to lose them because they are hard to find, and I don't know that these come with a new one either when you get one. But you need that height and you need to grind the tip just because of how tight that gets down inside of that corner, because this tab that it's bolted into is soldered on to the side of this case or brazed or something, and it makes that even tighter. So that's why the last 1/4 inch of this is ground. But you need one of these. Your Snap-on guy probably won't have one. I think I got this off of Amazon or eBay, but you're not putting ridiculous torque on it, so it doesn't really matter. But you do need one for your kit if you're going to do AOG and never have to deal with hawkers. Some Beechcrafts have them in different places. Usually older, I'd imagine older aircraft, even like Learjets, probably have them in different places as well.